Your bats were really good today. It looked like they were consistent, feeling good. How did you feel?
Yeah, we did a nice job. We ran the bases well. We had good swings, but overall, really productive day offensively.
How nice is it to see Billy get a hold of one? He's kind of struggled a little bit at the plate. So
Yeah, I think like we were talking about yesterday, I mean, having some adjustments made at the plate, but to be able to drive a ball the other way, I thought a really good at bat. And then he came back the next at bat and, drew a walk that was a really good at bat and didn't go out of the zone. So very encouraging.
I know Bae's still getting a lot of infield hits, but does it seem like he's barreling the ball a little bit more this
Yeah,
time?
I mean, he made he had the ball that kicked off Volpe's glove that was a single, but because it kicked, he made it into a double, and then he hit the other double. But, I think his swing looks considerably better than it has in the past.
With Paul, we've seen him on like the regular 4 or 5 days instead of last year where he had that extra day. Is that kind of on the table, do you feel like, for him this year?
It's going to be on the table at some point. To when it is, I don't think we know that. I don't know if out of the jump we'll do it or with the way our off days are lined up. But I mean, there's going to be stretches where he's going to be on regular rest. I would say that's very true.
Nick Gonzalez, what do you kind of like about where his swing and his approach is right now?
That he stand behind the ball. I think at times he has a tendency to go get the ball because he's such an aggressive hitter and he wants to go get it. The fact that he's really doing a nice job of letting the ball come to him and the ball's working a little bit deeper, I think has been impressive this spring.
With what he was able to do, making adjustments last year and, being able to, translate that into major league success during the season, do you feel like he kind of has what it takes to take that next step 2020?
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at last year, the adjustment he made in the path and how diligent he was when we sent him out. To be able to work on that is just another step in the evolution of him being a major league hitter.
I have a couple bunting questions for
Okay.
you. You guys laid down a couple. I read that last year more teams were using the bunt and like small ball was kind of utilized a little bit more. Do you think that's something that can kind of suit your team with the guys that you have in the lineup? You have more contact guys, some speed.
Yeah, I think it's a good. Do you want to do this?
Oh, no.
You sure? I heard your interview was really good.
I learned from the best.
Really good. I got a text from my wife. She said you killed it. Nice going. Oh boy. I think situational hitting is going to be important, and I think the bunt game is a component to that we will try to utilize.
And when you look, I mean, you guys, in situations where you did bunt, you were, I think, the second most successful bunting team last year. I know there's obvious situations where it's clear where maybe a bunt's most beneficial, but is there a little bit more to it than maybe the common baseball fan understands as to why you might have a certain guy lay one down in different situations?
Yeah, I think it's very situational. I mean, I think a lot of baseball fans wish you bunted a lot, but I think it is coming back into the game a little bit more. But there's so many factors into it that you have to play, like who's at the plate, who's on base, who's on deck, what the pitcher is, if they're going to bring in another pitcher, if it's going to leave an open base for someone that could potentially get intentionally walked. There's so many factors. But the bunts that we did today or we attempted today were on their own. So what that tells me is guys are thinking situationally, which I really like.
I know you've seen a lot of it over the last year, but just Paul's competitiveness on the mound, what's that like to see just in a spring training game where there's not anything really on the line?
I love it. I mean, and I think that's the one thing, the switch never goes off with him. When he gets on the rubber, it's consistent, regardless if it's a spring training game or if it's, a game at Yankee Stadium at the end of the year. His competitiveness and his intensity is consistent all the time, and that's what makes him, what he is.
With this being Paul's first home spring training start in this stadium, does that kind of remind you just kind of how fast this has all happened, that he's still hitting firsts?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize it till someone brought it up earlier today that it's the first time he started here. But you just think how quickly he's gone, and it's a little surprising. I mean, last year I think he pitched once or maybe twice in spring training. He pitched in the breakout game, and and then obviously we were extremely cautious with him coming through the season. But yeah, the fact that it's still the first with some of the things he's done, it's a little surprising.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks,
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.